Hello there guys, welcome back to another short online tutorial. Today we're based in Adobe Illustrator and it's Jack from Blue Sky Graphics. What I'd like to focus on today guys is the 3D and materials tool within Adobe Illustrator. Okay, what you can do now is you can create flat illustrations and really bring them to life. I have an example of what I'm talking about in front of you here, a sort of gear cog-like shape that I've created on a flat artboard within Adobe Illustrator, and then use the 3D and materials tool to bring it to life and really bring in this 3D elements to my illustration. And what I'd like to do today is show you how to do it. Okay, so what I've got here is another artboard set up already for us, and what I need to do now is obviously create our flat cog-like gear-like illustration. So the first tool I'm going to use is the star tool. Okay. Now, if I press the star tool, and I'm going to press Shift and Option on a Mac or Alt on Windows to resize from the center point there, and press Shift because I want it nice and proportionate. And as you can see, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points to this particular star. And what I actually want to do is I want to increase the number of points. Okay, so I'm just going to remove the original star and make sure I'm on the star tool. Instead of me now clicking and dragging out the shape, what I'm going to simply do is just click with my mouse. And as you can see now, I have points. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to increase that to 12. I actually want 12 points. And let's press OK. And there's my star with 12 points. Now, what I need to do is I need to round these points off. They're very sharp at the moment. So I'm going to use my direct selection tool to do so. All of them are selecting at the moment. So if I just come to any point and use this little round circle option here and just simply click and drag it inwards here, I can create the shape like so. Okay, so let's put a white color in here. Let's put a little stroke in here just so that I can make sure I can see what I'm doing. Perfect. Okay. So now I'm just going to resize this by from the center point by pressing Option on Mac or Alt on Windows and press Shift at the same time to keep it nice and proportionate. Fantastic. So let's create our ellipse inside. So we need to right click on the star tool and we have the ellipse tool here. And I'm just going to hover to the center point of the original star shape. And as you can see, it's telling me the center point. So I want to resize from that center point. So that will be Option on Mac or Alt on Windows. And we're going to press Shift as well because we need nice and proportionate. All right, so fantastic. Now, what I would like to do is copy this particular ellipse that I've just created, and I'm going to do that by pressing Command C on Mac or Control C on Windows. And then what I want to do is paste it in front the copied ellipse. So that is Command F on Mac or Control F on Windows. We're going to resize from the center point again, and we're going to press Shift also as well to keep it nice and proportionate. And we're going to do the same process again, Command C on Mac or Control C on Windows to copy, and then Command F or Control F on Windows to paste in front. And we're going to resize like so. What I may do actually is just resize these ellipses just a little bit bigger. So I've just clicked the outer one there, press Shift to click this one, and press Shift to click this one. And let's just say we resize that just a little bit more like so. Okay, so as you can see now, my cog-like shape is coming to life. And what I want to do is now tell the system, I want us to be recognizing each layer as its own individual shape, because all we've done is just layered shapes above on top of each other. And we can do that by using the shape builder. So if we select everything with the selection tool, we have the shape builder tool here. Okay, now what this does, this allows us to build shapes. Okay, and it obviously allows us to remove shapes as well. So I'm just going to simply get the shape builder tool. And as you can see, when I hover over each section, that's telling me that's an available shape that I can build. So if I now just simply click and drag through here, now that outer bit is one whole shape. This ring here is now one whole shape. And the inner ring there is also one whole shape. What I would like to do is remove this inner ellipse. As you can see, there's a plus sign on the arrow there. If I press Option on a Mac or Alt on Windows, that will now turn to a minus. And now I can click and drag, and now I can remove. Fantastic. So I want to bring this to life by implementing some colors. So let's do that. So I'm just going to select the outer shape there. Let's remove the stroke. Now I'm going to come to our swatches options up here. And let's say we go for sort of a nice dark gray like so. All right, fantastic. Let's select the inner ellipse there, like so. Yet again, let's remove the stroke. Fantastic. And I'm going to go for a black within the fill option there. Let's select that one in the middle. Yet again, let's remove the stroke. And let's go for a sort of lighter gray, let's say. Okay, fantastic. Now, what we need to do is make sure everything is grouped here. Okay, so with my selection tool, I'm just going to select everything like so. And the shortcut to do that is Command G on Mac or Control G on Windows. And now that's all grouped. Now, what I need to do is get access to my 3D and materials window. So to do that, I would need to go to Window, 3D and materials. Okay, we have all these options up here. And what I'm going to do is make sure I'm object. And I'm just going to use extrude and bevel. And as you can see straight away, it's automatically coming to life. We have the depth option here, which we can increase or decrease like so. Fantastic. And we have the preset options to rotate, isometric, everything like so. Okay, but what I want to do today is I want to manipulate the rotation myself, okay? So what I can do is come to this little circle point here, and we've got different points of the axis that we can rotate on. So as you can see now, we can rotate on the y-axis, or we can rotate on the x-axis. And what I want to do now is just give it a little rotate on the x-axis there. Fantastic. That's the angle I'm looking for there, okay? Now, what I want to do is I want to add some sort of like metallic looking material to this cog. So if I come to my materials options here, I'm not going to implement any type of material, but we have the metallic option up here. So what I'm going to do is just increase that just a tad, like so. Fantastic. And what I want to do now is manipulate the lighting also as well upon this cog. So I'm going to come to our lighting option up here. And what we're going to do now is let's bring the intensity down a tad, let's say. And we're going to rotate this probably around there, let's say. 95 would be around a good number. And then we've got the height, may increase this actually around sort of 80%, 80 degrees there. And then what we have is the softness. Let's bring that up a tad. Let's say around 85. Okay, we have the different types of preset lighting options up here as well. So we've got top left, diffuse, top right, or standard. Okay, and when you do that, I've manipulated. So I just need to manipulate the options again. Bring that to 80 around there, let's say. Perfect. And we'll bring this down to 85. Okay. So I'm really happy with how my shape's coming out now, right? Okay, so I've manipulated the depth, the rotation, I've added some lighting, and I've added some sort of metallic-like shape, some metallic-like material to this also as well. Now, what I want to do is I want to finish this off, okay? What I always suggest you to do is come to this little option here and always render your imagery, okay? Now, the reason you do this is because it just adds that extra sense of realism, and you can really sort of see how it brings it to life and makes it, yeah, super realistic. So I'm just going to turn it on like so, and we're going to make sure we have the high option like so. We want a high quality, and I'm just going to click render. Okay. Now this may take a few moments depending on the power of your computer. Okay. And just be very conscious of this is a very, very powerful thing that we're doing here. Okay. So sometimes you may have issues, but if you persevere, you'll always get the results. Okay. And like I said, I would always wait until the end to render. Okay. And now, as you can see, I really have a really realistic looking design. Okay. Now, what I want to do is if I start to move this around now, it'll always be rendering. So I just want to finalize things. So I'm just going to come to objects, and I'm just going to expand the experience. Fantastic. Okay. Let's remove our 3D materials window here. So I'm just going to resize this by pressing Shift and Option, and let's say, for instance, I wanted to duplicate this. So I am going to right click, transform, and I'm going to reflect it. Let's say, and I'll do a vertical reflection, but instead of pressing OK, I'm going to press copy. Wonderful. Let's resize that from the center point by pressing Option on Mac or Alt on Windows and Shift at the same time. Wonderful. Fantastic. And we can place that around there. And let's say we add a nice sort of background color. I'm going to add a gradient. So I'm going to create a rectangle like so. And I'm just going to put this all over our artboard here. Let's apply a nice gradient to this. What I want to do is I want to apply a radial gradient. So I'm going to change the type of gradient like so. And I'm going to change the black color stop by double clicking on it. And let's say we go for a nice sort of bluey kind of color, let's say. But what we can do with that blue, let's manipulate it. It's a little bit too strong at the moment for me. So let's bring that down a tad. Let's say, wonderful. Okay. And then with the selection tool, I'm going to right click, arrange, and send that to the back. And there you go, guys. That is how you create your 3D illustrations within Adobe Illustrator using the 3D and materials tool. If you're interested in finding out more about Blue Sky Graphics, take a look at our website at blueskygraphics.co.uk. Also, as well, we have tutorials that come out on a weekly basis, ranging from InDesign, Photoshop, Illustrator, Elementor, XD. So please take a look and check them out. Really cool information on there. And also as well, we've got our own Instagram page as well. There is some really cool stuff on there that we put by our students at Blue Sky Graphics UK. Thank you very much, guys. Take care, and I'll see you next time.